Some things you never expect to hear in your life. I love you. We're pregnant. And now, I slept with someone, but I think an open marriage could fix us. She said it like she was presenting a new app at a board meeting, voice calm, measured, rehearsed. We were at the dining table we picked out years ago when us meant connection instead of co-ownership. The candle between us flickered, and for a second, I thought I misheard her. My brain stalled, refusing to translate those words into sense. I watched her hands while she kept talking. Perfect nails, steady fingers, no hint of guilt. She'd practiced this speech. I didn't want to hurt you, she said. But we've been stuck, you know it. We're more like roommates now. This could be fair. We both get to explore. Redefine what this is. Redefine. I repeated, voice level. Before or after you slept with him? Her eyes gave her away for a split second. Panic, then back to performance mode. I made a mistake, she whispered, as if lowering her voice softened the truth. But it showed me what we need. Honesty. Freedom. No more lying. You've been lying for 8 months, I said, calm as ever. How much more freedom do you need? She blinked, startled. How did you? I didn't answer. Not yet. I wasn't ready to tell her about the receipts in our shared email, the photo she thought she deleted, or the Denver work trip that wasn't in Denver. I let her study me, calculating how much I knew, trying to regain control. Mara, I said softly. What's his name? She stared at the candle instead of me. That's not important. It's critical, I replied. Because this isn't honesty. This is you turning betrayal into a policy. She exhaled sharply. The mask cracked. Fine. It's Aaron. But that's not the point. I'm trying to save our marriage. No, I said. You're trying to keep your access. Access to what? She asked, her tone sharp now. My stability. My silence. My reputation. The one you use to buy credibility with your friends, your board, your family. The man you parade as proof you're not what you are. She flinched at that. The truth landed. She didn't want me. She wanted what I enabled. I stood, picked up our plates, rinsed them. The motion calmed me. I realized I wasn't shaking. I wasn't raging. I wasn't even heartbroken. Something inside me had gone cold, sharp, focused. I dried my hands, leaned on the counter. Okay, I said evenly. Let's do it your way. Her eyes widened. What? Openness. Honesty. Adult choices. I'll think about your proposal. I even smiled. But if we open things, we start clean. Full transparency. Phones on the table, passwords, calendars, health checks. Everything. She laughed, too loud, too quick. That's ridiculous. That's not openness. That's trust. You forfeited trust when you outsourced intimacy and tried to spin it as innovation, I said, still calm. That scared her more than yelling ever would. But sure. Give me the weekend. I'll consider your model. She relaxed a little. I knew you'd understand. You're not like other men. You're rational. I nodded, kissed her forehead on the way out. Rational to the bone. Her shoulders dropped. She poured more wine, texted someone, probably him, and turned on that playlist she always used when she wanted to feel in control. I went to my office, closed the door, sat down. No shaking. No anger. No second thoughts. I opened a new email. Subject, retainer request, divorce and discovery strategy. I typed my lawyer's name, attached the first batch of evidence, and wrote 10 words I never imagined I'd write. Proceed quietly. Assume she thinks I'm considering an open marriage. I hit send. Then I leaned back, eyes closed, and saw the road ahead with absolute clarity. Discovery. Subpoenaed messages. Hotel invoices. Company card charges. Exposure, not to strangers but to the exact people whose respect she wielded like a weapon. Her board, her mentor, her parents who thought she was the model of integrity. Exit. Swift. Surgical. Inarguable. The kind of divorce filing that reads like an obituary for entitlement. I opened a new folder on my desktop and created 3 subfolders: affair, financial, final narrative. My hands were steady as I dragged in screenshots, bank statements, and recordings into the first. Moved savings into a protected trust, legal, meticulous, into the second. Drafted the first version of the letter that would go to her inner circle into the third. From the living room, 2 walls away, I heard her laugh. That same laugh she used on him during those whispered calls and strategy weekends. She thought she was winning. She thought she'd rewritten the rules. She thought I'd bend, break, and thank her for crumbs. But I wasn't a man she could manage. I was the one quietly sharpening the blade. I used to think Mara was untouchable, someone everyone admired. Over lunch one afternoon, I sat across from Dr. Iona Patel, her mentor from grad school and one of her loudest supporters. As we sipped coffee, I unlocked my phone and said quietly, "I'm about to file for divorce. I wanted you to hear it from me first. You also deserve to know the truth." I handed her my phone. On the screen were messages between Mara and Aaron. Mara he's so predictable. He'll come around eventually. In the meantime, I get what I need. Aaron you're a goddess. He should thank me for keeping you satisfied. Iona's jaw tightened. "This is vile," she whispered. "She told me this would heal us," I said flatly. Iona shook her head slowly. "I vouched for her. I even wrote her board recommendation. If this ever leaks." "Oh," I interrupted, "it's going to." After that, I started reaching out, methodically, one person at a time. Her co-founders, who had no idea company funds were being used for romantic getaways with a man from a competitor. Her parents, who believed I was lucky to have her. Her HR department, who was legally bound to act once they saw the evidence of financial misconduct and policy violations. I built a folder, chat logs, expense reports, screen-recorded videos of webcam sessions she thought were private. She thought this was liberation. She didn't know it was the beginning of her fall. 8 days later, she walked into the bedroom smiling, holding her phone. "Guess who invited me to Bali?" she teased. "Aaron?" I asked, without looking up from my laptop. She blinked. "You're okay with that, right? It's not about love, it's about freedom. You could do the same." I smiled faintly. "Actually, I might." Her brow furrowed. "Oh, you're seeing someone." "In a way," I said. "But I think I'll wait until things are finalized." "Finalized?" she repeated, tilting her head. I closed my laptop gently and brushed past her. "You'll see." She laughed nervously. "You're not mad, are you?" I paused at the door. "No," I said calmly. "I'm just watching the show you wrote." Then I left. The divorce papers were delivered on a Thursday morning, by design. 9:47 a.m., right in the middle of her team's weekly stand-up meeting. A private process server walked into her office and handed her an envelope marked *dissolution of marriage. Immediate filing notice. She signed automatically, expecting vendor paperwork. When she opened it and saw the contents, complete with an appendix of evidence, Iona told me later it was like watching a skyscraper crumble in slow motion. Mara walked out mid-meeting and never returned. That same morning, I sent out carefully drafted emails to select recipients. Her parents, her company's board, her closest friends, the same people who once mocked my boring loyalty, and Aaron's wife, who had no idea. Subject line, in the interest of full transparency. Inside, screenshots of texts, lists of company-funded trips, a comparison of her lies against the board calendar, and a single line. You deserve to know the truth. No anger, no insults. Just facts, timed perfectly. By noon, her phone was blowing up, calls from her dad, her co-founder, then Aaron's wife, again and again. By 2 p.m., her LinkedIn was deactivated. By 4 p.m., her company issued a statement about an internal investigation into financial misconduct and personal behavior. By 6 p.m., Aaron's wife filed for emergency separation. And by 7:30 that evening, Mara stood on our doorstep, mascara smudged, trembling, not angry, just lost, like someone who'd never imagined the world could stop revolving for her. I opened the door. She tried to speak, but I cut her off. "You said you wanted excitement," I said evenly. "How's this for a plot twist?" "Please," she whispered. You don't understand how fast this is spiraling. That's the thing about control, Mara, I said. You don't know you've lost it until someone else pulls the last string. She sank to the porch. They're calling me a fraud. Even my dad won't answer. Because you are, I said simply. You lied. You schemed. And now you're paying the price. Her eyes filled with tears. You said you were considering the open marriage. I was, I said. But instead of opening my marriage, I opened your secrets. Her shoulders shook. I thought you loved me. I did, I said. But now I love my peace more. I stepped inside and closed the door. The next morning, her belongings were on the curb, neatly boxed and labeled, just like the evidence folders. On top, a note. This is what healing looks like. Enjoy your freedom. 3 days later, Mara resigned from her startup. The investigation didn't take long. Between the credit card receipts and the Slack messages about private meetings, there was no saving her. Investors don't forgive founders who lie. Her public statement was a flimsy attempt at damage control, blaming mental health struggles, blurred boundaries, and misunderstood autonomy. No one bought it. Her Instagram went private. Whispers started in every VC circle she once thrived in. She got caught. There's proof. Her husband handled it perfectly. I stayed silent. Not a tweet, not a post. My silence spoke louder than her excuses. Friends who once dismissed me started messaging, "Can't believe she did that. You didn't deserve it." I thanked them politely, but I wasn't interested in pity or revenge flings. I focused on me. I doubled my client work. Hit the gym harder. Read more. Traveled solo. Bought a new apartment with no ghosts in it. Above my desk, I framed the original email to my lawyer, "Proceed quietly." Every time I saw it, I smiled. 6 weeks after the divorce was finalized, there was a knock at my new place. It was Aaron, sweating, broken. "I need to talk," he stammered. "You shouldn't be here," I said. I didn't think it would go this far." "Didn't think what?" I asked. "That sleeping with another man's wife might have consequences," I said for him. "She told me you didn't care. That it was practically over," he muttered. "She says a lot of things," I said. "That's why I kept receipts." He rubbed his face. "My wife left. My firm suspended me. Her parents hate me. She blames me." I stared at him, then said, "Good," and shut the door. 2 weeks later, Mara emailed me. Subject, *closure. She begged for one last coffee, just to talk. I didn't respond. I forwarded it to my lawyer and archived it. Because closure isn't something they give you. It's something you build yourself. Mara wanted to turn betrayal into therapy. She wanted to paint loyalty as weakness. She tried to make me small so she could feel bigger. She thought she was playing chess. I wasn't playing at all. I was planning my exit, from her lies, her games, and the idea that love means accepting less. In the end, I walked away with something better than revenge, my peace.